Greetings, citizens of the world. Marcus Aurelius here, Emperor of Rome, Stoic philosopher, and today, your guide on a truly transformative journey. Prepare to unlock one of the greatest secrets of human existence, a power that resides within each of us and that, once understood, can rewrite the script of your lives. The miracle of a shift in perception. This isn't just any journey, it's a deep dive into ancient wisdom that shaped empires and forged resilient souls. Before we begin our crossing, I ask you to join our growing community of wisdom seekers. Share this video, like it, and subscribe to our channel so more people can benefit from this timeless philosophy. Together, we will turn every obstacle not into a stumble, but into a ladder to greatness. Life, my friends, is a magnificent stage, and on it, we are not mere passive actors. We are, above all, the directors and screenwriters of our own existential play. The intrinsic quality of our experience, the flavor it holds, is not dictated by the external events unfolding before us, nor by the circumstances that surround us. On the contrary, this quality is forged and sculpted in an almost miraculous way by how we choose to interpret, understand, and react to these events. It is precisely in this innate ability to mold our perspective that the core of the miracle I invite you to explore. Too often, we find ourselves trapped in intricate labyrinths of affliction, bitterly lamenting what is, by its very nature, irrevocably beyond our control. We observe the world around us through blurred, murky, and distorted lenses, not by reality itself, but by the complex webs of our unrealistic expectations, by the fears that haunt us, and by the insatiable desires that consume us. The pain we feel, that deep wound, often doesn't reside in the brutal event itself, in its objective rawness, but rather in our visceral reaction, in how our mind elaborates and responds to that event. Consider the most trivial, yet equally profound example: rain. For some, its arrival is an unbearable burden, an unwelcome annoyance that disrupts carefully laid plans, an impediment to a journey that should be sunny. For others, however, the same rain is perceived as a divine blessing, an essential gift that generously irrigates the thirsty earth, fundamental for the promise of an abundant and fruitful harvest. The rain in its essence remains the same, but perception, that varies immensely among individuals. And it is precisely in this variation, subtle yet powerful, that the true power we possess over our reality lies. Stoic philosophy, in its ancient wisdom, bequeathed to us a fundamental and liberating truth. We are not, in essence, perturbed by things themselves, in their raw and objective form, but rather by the opinions, by the value judgments, and by the interpretations we weave about these things. It's a maxim that, at first glance, may seem almost childishly simple, but whose depth is, in fact, avassaladora and capable of transforming lives. By truly internalizing and comprehending this premise, we open the doors to a form of existential freedom that, unfortunately, few individuals on their earthly journey ever fully experience. Imagine for a moment that an unexpected and challenging setback suddenly arises in your path, diverting you from your planned route. Your first impulse, an almost instinctive and visceral reaction, might be one of overwhelming frustration, blind anger, or a deep discouragement that seems to consume all your energy. This is a natural, inherently human reaction, and there is no shame in it. However, it is precisely at this crucial moment, this turning point, that the practitioner of Stoic philosophy finds their richest opportunity to put into practice the wisdom and mental discipline that characterize their pursuit of virtue and tranquility. We do not have control over what happens in the vast theater of life. The randomness of events is beyond our domain. However, and this is the crucial point, we can and must, with all our willpower and consciousness, control our response to these events. This capacity for choice, to determine our internal reaction, is the clear boundary that separates the slavery of impulsive reactivity, which makes us prisoners of circumstances, from the sublime freedom of conscious and deliberate choice. With every breath we take, with every new challenge, we have the inalienable power to reformulate our vision, to reinterpret the script that life presents to us. Think of a simple object, a clay vase that, due to carelessness or a fortuitous event, shatters into 1,000 pieces. It is, in its essence, just an inanimate object without consciousness or feeling. The pain we might feel when seeing it broken doesn't reside in the broken vase itself, in its fragmented matter. It emerges instead from our preconceived idea that it should have remained intact, from our deep and irrational aversion to its destruction. Reality, however, teaches us a crucial and liberating lesson. Everything, absolutely everything in the manifest universe, is by its very nature transient and impermanent. The miracle of a shift in perception is not an act of magic or an illusory trick, but rather the result of rigorous discipline and continuous effort. It's not something that manifests instantly, like a bolt of lightning striking the sky. It's the daily and persistent practice of deeply questioning our own interpretations, of courageously challenging the automatic narratives we build in our minds, often without full awareness. It's a continuous exercise in sharp self-awareness, of metacognition, that allows us to observe our own thoughts and emotions with a healthy and analytical detachment. When injustice, in its cruelest form, knocks at your door and threatens your peace, do not surrender to corrosive bitterness or paralyzing despair. Instead, pause, breathe, and ask yourself a transformative question. What can I learn from this painful experience? How can I use this moment of adversity, this trial, not to sink, but to strengthen my character, to enhance my unwavering resilience, and to practice virtue with even greater intensity? Adversity, for the wise and for the student of philosophy, is not an enemy, but rather a demanding, yet profoundly instructive teacher. The opinions of others, so often a heavy burden on our shoulders, an inexhaustible source of anxiety and insecurity, are another fertile ground for applying the miracle of a shift in perception. Why, on our journey, do we worry so excessively and almost pathologically about what other individuals think or say about us? If our actions are guided by virtue, by moral rectitude and unquestionable integrity, what truly matters about external judgment, the ephemeral words of others? The pursuit of external approval is a bottomless pit, and only internal approval, based on virtue, can set us free. Learn to distinguish, with crystal clarity, between what is genuinely within your control and what, by its nature, is irrevocably beyond it. This capacity for discernment is the cornerstone of Stoic tranquility, the foundation upon which a life of serenity and purpose is built. Physical health, the possession of material wealth, the reputation projected in the world, all of this, though desirable, is beyond our complete and absolute dominion. Virtue, however, that is yours, an inalienable possession and no one else's. Envy, soul-corroding jealousy, blind rage, all these destructive emotions are, in their essence, corrosive manifestations that arise from deeply distorted perceptions of reality. They often emerge when we incessantly compare our own journey, with its struggles and achievements, to that of others, or when we stubbornly cling to illusory and unattainable ideas of how things should be, instead of accepting reality as it presents itself. Free yourself from these emotional bonds that tie and suffocate. Focus, with unwavering determination, on your own path, on continuously improving yourself, on being the best version of yourself each new dawn. Celebrate the achievements of others with the same joy and enthusiasm as if they were your own victories, for the prosperity of your neighbor, the happiness of others, does not diminish your own one bit. There is abundance enough for all beings, if only we shift our perception from scarcity to gratitude. This is the power that Stoic philosophy offers us, the ability to transform our life experience, not by changing the external world, but by a revolution in our own mind. It is an invitation to look inward, to question the lenses through which we see reality, and to assume the sovereignty over our own inner kingdom. As we will see, this is just the beginning of a deep and liberating journey, and each step brings us closer to a truly authentic existence. Perception, my dear friends, is like the light that falls upon a sculpture. The sculpture is reality itself, fixed and immutable. But the light, the way it illuminates it, can reveal different contours, shadows, and beauties. The same piece can appear majestic under one light and somber under another. Similarly, life's events are neutral in their essence. It is the light of our perception that gives them meaning and emotion. Many relentlessly seek happiness in material possessions, in external recognition, in ephemeral pleasures. They chase mirages, building their homes on the shifting sands of circumstances. Stoicism teaches us that true and lasting happiness does not reside in having, but in being. It is a joy that arises from inner harmony, from the acceptance of what is, and from virtuous action in the face of any challenge. The art of not being disturbed, of maintaining calm amidst the storm, is not synonymous with apathy or indifference. Far from it. It is mastery over emotions, the ability to feel without being swept away. It is the deep understanding that while physical pain may be inevitable, mental suffering is, most often, a choice constructed by our own interpretation of facts. The practice of gratitude is a powerful tool in this shift of perception. Even in the most challenging situations, there is always something to be grateful for: the lesson learned, the opportunity for growth, the simple ability to breathe and reflect. Gratitude shifts the focus from scarcity to abundance, from lamentation to appreciation of the present moment. And death, my friends, the ultimate event that terrifies so many? For the Stoic, death is not an end to be feared, but a natural part of life's cycle, as inevitable as the sunrise. By accepting the impermanence of all things, including our own existence, we free ourselves from the fear that paralyzes us and begin to live each day with more purpose and intensity. The truly wise person does not lament what they have lost, but celebrates what they had. They do not cling to the past which is gone, nor do they fret about the future which has not yet arrived. They live in the eternal present, the only time that truly belongs to them, and in it they seek to act with reason, courage, justice, and temperance. Remember, there is no problem that cannot be an opportunity for the practice of virtue. There is no injustice that cannot be a catalyst for your resilience. Each moment, each encounter, each challenge is an invitation to refine your perception and strengthen your spirit. The power to choose your response, that is true human freedom. Start small. Observe your thoughts. When negativity arises, question it. Ask yourself, is this within my control? Can I change my perspective on this? Practice selective indifference, focusing your energy only on what truly matters, on what aligns with your deepest values. This is the journey of self-mastery. This miracle of a shift in perception is not a privilege of a few, but a right of all. It is the key to a life of serenity amidst chaos, of purpose amidst uncertainty. Cultivate this wisdom in your daily life and witness the transformation it will bring. If this video resonated with your soul, like it and subscribe to continue our journey of wisdom. Rome wasn't built in a day, and wisdom is also a continuous construction. Let's proceed together.